Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Morning lift.
Ready for the show? Y'all ready for the music?
Yes.
Get up, stand up. It's the morning lift. Praises up. Start your week with us. Get up. It's the morning lift. Feed your soul. It'll make you whole. He's in control. It's the morning lift. Get up, stand up. Praises up. It's the morning lift.
Well, good morning. Good morning. It's the Morning Lift Show with Dr. Sean Kyle. And as the show said, get up, get lifted. It's Monday morning, it's 8 a.m., and this is the Morning Lift Show. And y'all know how we do on this show. We like to come to you on Monday mornings and get your week started, get you lifted for a great week of spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental wellness. And today is an exciting day. I have a double feature, y'all, today. I have two amazing guests here to talk to us about mental wellness. And what a fitting topic for a fitting time. This is November 23rd, the Monday before Thanksgiving. And we have so much to be thankful for. Just want to give y'all a reminder that this show is aired live on Intellectual Radio and iHeart Station. And we're so happy to be there. And we stream live on Facebook. If you're watching us there on my professional page, Dr. Sean Kyle. And after the show, you can play us back. You can play us back on the website. The website is going across the bottom, but it's www.themorningliftshow.com. You can also play us back on iHeartRadio. You can play us back on Intellectual Radio. And you can actually go and watch it here on Facebook. You can go on Instagram TV, YouTube, and on Roku. So there's so many opportunities to get your week going and get moving. So today, let me tell you about our show. Our topic is about coping during the holidays. Coping during the holidays. I know for so many of us, it's an exciting time. You get to spend time with family and friends and give back and do all the community service you like doing. But for some people, it's not really a happy time. It's, things are going on, things have happened in their life. And for all of us, it's a different time. This year is so different than any other year we've ever experienced. We got this pandemic going on. People are panicking. Me too. We got COVID virus going on, COVID-19. So people are acting a little bit, and excuse me, Dr. Angela, if I say this wrong, but a little crazy. People acting a little funny now. So we got so much to talk about today. And so we have some experts on the show today. We have Dr. Angela Mahone and we have Dina Dye Perry here to talk to us about some mental wellness and mindfulness techniques we can use during this holiday season to keep us well, things to carry us through. So let me tell you a little bit about both of them. Dr. Angela Harper Mahone is a board certified general psychiatrist with specialization in child and adolescent psychiatry. She completed a residency in general psychiatry and her fellowship in child and adolescent psychiatry at the University of Chicago Hospitals. Dr. Mahone currently works in student wellness at one of the top universities in the country. Additionally, she is a consultant for a school district in downstate Illinois and is on the ADHD Expert Speakers Bureau for a major pharmaceutical company. Dr. Mahone especially values providing information to reduce the stigma of mental illness and empower others to become comfortable with psychiatric care. We also have our well-known healthy lifestyle engineer, Dina Dye Perry. And Dina is the author of Detoxalicious, which is a triad on mindfulness, yoga, fitness, and food recipes for busy people who desire optimal health detox results. Naturally detox your liver and kidneys, and doctors support the supplements that are in the book. Dina has worked as a corporate yoga instructor for Active Wellness for 5 years, and her clients are Continental, Wintrust, and Motorola. She loves sharing the gift of her multifaceted yoga techniques, and she's known, as I just said, as our healthy lifestyle engineer through her brand, Dina Dodd Life. So I welcome you both to the show. Thank you both for being here. I am so blessed to have you here, talk with us. And so I know that the audience, whether they're listening to us or watching us, they want to hear more from both of you. They have chimed in today, especially on our 13th episode of the Morning Lift Show. And it's actually our final episode for fall series. And so today is so special because you're closing us out and we come back live in the new year on January 4th to do our winter series. And so let me just start with Dr. Angela. Dr. Angela, what has been your wellness journey? Tell us your story. We want to hear about how you got to be Dr. Angela.
Okay, well, for me, when I think about wellness as habits that are done regularly to maintain physical and mental health, I would say in high school, I didn't really think about it that much. I just really took time to avoid dangerous situations and things that I thought would be harmful to me and my reputation. And in college, I guess my wellness journey expanded beyond just staying safe and out of trouble. And it became more important for me to eat right, get enough sleep, and to practice gratitude. And I did that by doing community service and going to church. Now, in medical school is when I fell in love with exercising, and I found that I had more energy and was better able to relax after I exercised. And that's also the time during medical school that I became interested in mental health. And that was for a variety of reasons. One, the dean of my medical school was a psychiatrist. Two, at the time, David Satcher was the Surgeon General of the United States. He lived in Georgia, and he did a lot of work on disparities in mental health. And then, unfortunately, during medical school, I also lost a sibling to suicide. So all of those things made me very interested in mental health. And so I would say during residency, because I chose to do residency in psychiatry, I became more familiar with therapy because my class, all of us decided to go see therapists. We were going to go old school like they used to do back in the day when everyone who wanted to be a psychiatrist had to go through therapy. So we agreed to do that. And then finally, for me, with mindfulness, that became a crucial part of my life. In 2016, I was doing a fitness boot camp, and my gym is very into mental wellness as well. And the psychologist came and taught us mindfulness techniques that helped me get through the illness and death of my father. So that's kind of how I came, to be who I am and to, do what I do.
Oh, that is really good. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know it's sometimes challenging for us to share our story, but I think it empowers so many people when we are able to share that story and, get us all in a place where we feel comfortable. No one wants to feel like they're alone, and it's so helpful to others to hear it. So I just thank you so much. And Dina, I know you shared your story on our show before, but for the listeners who haven't heard it before, let me go ahead and have you to just chat a little bit about, what is it that has made you Dina? Like, how did you get into this whole mindfulness and techniques with yoga?
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Sean. You are just such a powerhouse, and it's so important to share sort of the gift of yoga, the gift of Christianity, the gift of faith with all of you all today. So a little background on me is personally, I've always been successful in terms of the STEM arena, meaning my background in engineering. Very successful with that, but I did lose my mother, unfortunately, through a botched angiogram. They blew air into her instead of dye. And it was devastating for me and my siblings and my father. So she basically died of a massive heart attack in 2002. My two little boys were very young and toddlers, and it was just completely devastating for us. So naturally, due to the fact that she had a predisposition for heart disease, that's higher blood pressure, higher cholesterol, it became something that's sort of a hallmark in my own family that I monitor and I watch on an annual basis. And consequently, I end up having moderately high cholesterol myself. And so what I've learned is through food, diet, that I can make a profound difference in my own lifestyle. Also, fast forward to 2013, I had a back injury and went to a renowned neurosurgeon outside of Chicago, and he found there was a fragment in my back between the L4, L5 vertebrae. And so obviously that was a little shocking leaving the doctor's office then, but he said, I can correct this with spine surgery. It's outpatient. And of course, I was like, oh my God, he's got a dig in my back. He said, Dina, it's outpatient. So upon surgery, it was very successful. It was outpatient. I was just there one day. I said, I've got to figure out how to stretch differently. And I asked the doctor, how about yoga? And he said, yoga is fantastic. My wife does it. I think it's something you should consider. If you keep your weight down, watch your diet, commit to a fitness routine, you can make a difference in your own life. So that's really what really catapulted me to this new level of fitness that's been very much a great journey. And I've kind of figured if I can help myself, I can help others heal. And so that's really where it's all at.
Well, that's amazing. God does some amazing things with us. And I say that all the time. You never know who this story is for. My own wellness journey, I'm such an open book. I talk about it all the time, led me into ministry. And who would have known I would ever be minister, right? Reverend Dr. Sean Kyle, where'd that come from? But, I grew up in church, but I never expected to actually want to go into ministry. But through life challenges, through life excitement, through life opportunities, you knock on the door, you seek and you find. And that's really what, has led me to where I am. So I just thank you all for sharing that. And, being a catalyst for people to be able to take some ownership and feel like they can seek out assistance when it comes to their mental wellness journey. And, I want to hear more about, how do we deal with these things? As I started off the show, I thought more and more about the fact that, at least here in Chicago, we are more in now with new stay-at-home orders. And, around the country, things are just spiking with, unfortunately, this coronavirus. And so, Dr. Mahone, what are you seeing? I know you're advising a lot of students on campuses, and I'm sure you see a lot of things there. But what's going on out here that, that you see in your practice?
A lot of people are struggling with feeling isolated, so feeling like they don't have connection with other people. They're struggling with getting things done is the biggest complaint that I've had these days. And, just feeling like they're unable to focus, get their work done, and things of the sort. And so, it's important for them to get up and shower and get dressed and to do those things. But when someone's at home, especially those that are by themselves and don't have family or roommates and things, they've had a hard time. It's been interesting because I found that in my young adult and adult patients who have anxiety, some have felt more comfortable because they've not had to interact with people in person. But I've also found that there's some that the anxiety crosses over even into Zoom and other social platforms, and so they feel uncomfortable even being on camera. So that's hard. Depression, getting bored, and feeling like they're not motivated, they don't have a reason to work towards their goals, to exercise. So just a lot of things of the sort. So the conditions don't go away just because you're at home. So people who've been depressed still are struggling with depression at times. People who have anxiety, again, I've seen that go both ways. Some have been better, some have been worse. So it's just been a tough time for people.
And I'm just curious. I'm just, with, you see the statistics of, people struggling with things. Is it true? Is it true that people are being diagnosed more with depression and anxiety, or are they just noticing that they are, feeling these ways more because they're home and settled and can, deal with their own selves? Is it really true that they're more depressed today, or is it just that they are seeking more help? And how do you know that you really need to seek help?
So I think that people are becoming more comfortable with seeking mental health services. I would say our kids, the college age, people in college and high school, we have kids the same age, but I need to share, I guess, with the viewers, we have college age children, high school.
Yes, we
They're
do.
just more comfortable with talking about mental health issues. And so I think that helps for them to feel comfortable asking for help and seeing providers. I will say there's better access to mental health services. Our numbers at the university went up because students did not have to actually come in and make an appointment. People were able to meet with us via telemedicine. And so, when it's convenient for you to meet with a doctor in the comfort of your own home, sometimes that provides access to it. So I think people are more comfortable with it, and other people are more better able to recognize it. So, teachers, professors, nurses, doctors, just everyone, it's not an uncomfortable thing to talk about. So people do end up getting the help that they need.
That is so good. I'm glad that people are seeking it. For a long time, I didn't share with people that I struggled for many years with extreme anxiety, panic attacks, and then depression. Some things brought on by things you can't control. Traumatic events happen. For me, lupus kind of really did a doozy on me, and mentally too, not just physically. And I think that sometimes when you have an underlying condition or you have an illness already, just dealing physically with the illness is not enough. And so in trying to deal with it mentally and pretending like it wasn't happening made it worse. And then I started feeling like I can't tell anybody that I'm losing my mind because they're going to think I'm quote unquote crazy, right? So I felt like there was a stigma. And sometimes I think in the Black community, unfortunately, and especially among Black women, we don't want to tell anybody we feel crazy. Shoot, she got kids. I had 5 kids. You think I want to tell somebody I felt crazy?
Yeah.
They might come get my kids, right? So I had all these unnecessary anxious feelings or unnecessary fears that weren't real. And what is fear? False expectations appearing real. And so, digging into my spirituality really helped with that, helped me to understand that a mental condition is not this weird thing that you're crazy. It's just it's a medical condition like anything else. Like I would take care of my lupus, like I would take care of, my high blood pressure, or I would take care of a broken ankle. It's the same thing. And so when I started looking at it as a medical need, it became easy. I'm like, I got to take care of my medical health. I can't sit around here and act like nothing's going on. And so seeking the help and getting the help has been such a worthwhile part of my journey. So I like to share with people that. So if they're out there listening and you feel like, oh, I don't want to tell anybody because people are going to look at me funny. Well, let them look. Let them look. Get your wellness, get your mind together so that you can move forward in your life. You do not have to feel alone. And I know
Yes.
Dina, you do some different kinds of things. I know, Angela does, the medical treatment. And listen, y'all, she is not taking new clients. Let me let y'all know right now.
Yeah.
Mahone is busy. She's
Busy.
not taking new clients, but she is an excellent psychiatrist. Maybe she can tell you a referral, somebody that can help you. But Dina, you take a different approach. You take the mindfulness, meditation,
Yeah.
changing your lifestyle approach, which I think both blend together very well. So tell us more about the things that that you offer and you do on your end of the spectrum.
Yeah, thank you. I think you have to ask the question, do you feel paralyzed? Do you really have a problem? And ask yourself at this instant, do you have the problem? Right now, at this moment, I am talking to beautiful Black magic women, right? There's power in that. There's something to celebrate. We're helping each other. So we got to be happy in the present moment. So when you recognize there's power in bringing awareness in your own situation right now, we don't have a problem. Okay, there's something we have to address maybe later in the future. But if we're paying attention and breathing with intention, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale through the mouth 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just kind of slow the cadence, slow it down. The breath work really, really matters. I'm telling you, there's real power in doing that. It will drive your blood pressure down. It will take you to a new place of power. There's power in the now, in the present moment. That's one. Number 2 is bringing your awareness to letting go or non-attachment. That's what we talk about in yoga. So it's non-attachment to the emotions. Maybe you're happy right now. Maybe you're sad. Maybe something is bothering you. Maybe there's a pending deadline. Whatever it is, recognize what it is and work it into your plan. Every day, every night, plan for the next day, build it in your schedule, write it down. I think there's real power in writing it down on a daily basis. So buy yourself a journal, make a difference, try some things that are a little different for you. Do the things at night or in the morning that allows for a break, a distraction for you. Maybe it's doing art. That's something I like doing. I like drawing. I like painting. I like doing some other things. I like going on a nice brisk walk with my dog. You can do that with your kids. Put on your mask, whatever you need to do if you're going to be around people, but get out there. And also wear your glasses. That's one thing that's underestimated. Wear your glasses,
Yes.
wear your mask if you're inside. But if you're outdoors, go for it. Just keep your distance. There's no reason to stop, to feel paralyzed. Keep going. That's my message here today.
I think that is so good. And I'm seeing Dr. Angela over there with her beautiful glasses on. She's taking pictures of all of that stuff. I just, when I think about just, the daily practices that we all have now that are different, right? Whereas, you might have been on a routine of get up, get breakfast, get the kids to school, go to work, come home, make dinner, put the kids to bed, go to sleep. That routine has changed so much with us spending so much more time inside. And so I know for me, that then changes my routine. So I still have a routine, Miss Dina. I still have a routine. I still write things down, but I write them down differently. I'm incorporating a lot more I'm incorporating more time to think about what I need and what I want out of my life going forward. I just had a 48th birthday. So these things
Happy
are real.
birthday.
I'm like, oh, that 50 is coming quick. That road to 50. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? And a lot of it is getting my mental wellness together, doing my check-ins with my doctor. As I said, I've seen a psychiatrist. Actually, I've seen Dr. Angela Mahone. I loved her. She dropped me, y'all. She got this big job and dropped me like a potato. She took very good care of me. But, I do my check-ins with my doctors, right, to make sure that I'm mentally, well, that I am putting into practice the things that they taught me. I check in with my therapist. I saw a therapist, too, when I was going through my divorce, and she gave me some practical tips to put in place to make sure I'm still doing that. And then I spend time each day in prayer, in meditation. I take long baths now. I used to be that girl just jumping in a quick shower. I got to go. I was on the road. I was, on roller skates of life. But this pandemic has caused me to slow down and think about what I really want to do. I started a group on Facebook that I love, and I always talk about in the show, the Sisterhood Society of the She Shed. And people laugh at me sometimes about that name, but it started because I needed to get out of the house and make something, do something with my hands and make something, because I felt like I was going to lose it. I needed to get my mind and hands busy doing something for me. So I created that She Shed group. Is kind of a support group. I'm so happy it's like over 2,000 women who want to do it too. But that was really for mental wellness. And I think that when we're home, now we can actually explore opportunities. And so thank you for sharing about painting and, writing things down.
Yeah, whatever works.
Important. Yep. It's so important.
Yeah.
Dr. Angela, I want to hear some more about we have these holidays coming up. Right?
Yes.
We have Thanksgiving. I actually ordered the groceries this time. And, to try to keep out of stay out of the store as much as possible. So we'll see what comes in on Wednesday. You order a 20-pound turkey, and I'm hoping that they saw my order right and I don't bring home this 12-pound turkey or whatever they're going to give me. But anyway, doing some things different from the holidays than I've done in the past. I ordered the groceries, like I said, to try to stay a little safer out of store. All of my kids won't be home. One will be still in LA, one will be in Houston. Three of them will be home, but that's going to be very different for me. I always have all five of my kids. They're in college and various stages of young adulthood. And so that's going to be a challenge to watch them on TV. And I'm almost going to get a little choked up now, but it's going to be hard. And so I've been thinking about, even for myself, what are some things I can do to get mentally prepared during this holiday season to not be close to my loved ones? Dr. Angela, what have you seen with that, or what can you tell us to do about that?
Well, one of the things that we're doing is I lost my dad in 2016. And so we often go to my mom's home for Thanksgiving. And when I say we, my family, my husband and children, my brother's wife and children, and then my cousins and their children and spouses come to my mom's house. And so this year, no one's traveling due to COVID. And so one of the things we're going to do is we're just going to coordinate, at least an hour on Zoom, in which we will get to at least see each other on screen and play a couple of games. We're not going to try to have a meal, a Thanksgiving meal with all the separate households on Zoom, but just, making sure that you take time to check in with other people who you're usually seeing in person is helpful. And for those who want to spend time with family members, that wasn't my bright idea to get together via Zoom. It was actually my mom's idea, because she knew that she was going to be in that big house by herself. And, at first she was, saying things like, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to eat Thanksgiving dinner anyway because I'm having a dental procedure. But in truth, she was a little worried about not having that contact. So when she said, Angela, will you coordinate a Zoom? I said, absolutely. And it was sad that I didn't think of it myself, but just finding ways to, connect with people and to create new traditions, maybe, trying different things. So but the main thing is asking for what you need, because the sad thing is I would have definitely spoken with my mom on Thanksgiving, but I might not have thought of coordinating a Zoom. And so I was so glad that she thought enough to say, hey, can you get everyone together? So just asking for what you need.
Dr. Angela, we did the exact same thing. As I mentioned earlier, we lost my mom. So my dad is 88. He just had a birthday last week. So we're so excited to celebrate him, but we need to protect him, right? So what we've all decided, there are four of us, is to do a Zoom. And the oldest sister, sort of the new matriarch of the family, said, you know what? She texted everyone. We got this exhaustive, text chain with all 13 grandkids. They're all over the place. And we said, we're going to set this up. And you know what? We're going to have fun. And so she set up this fun game. And so each family pod will have something to contribute. And we're just going to, in family tradition, in a new way, have some fun, laugh, eat, and we're going to share, our meals together. And so you just got to do things a little differently. And I love what you said. It just is being creative, right? And really leverage the tools we have. We do have technology. And unlike 100 years ago, we didn't have any of this. So we have to be very grateful for what we do have. So thank you so much for sharing to confirm that we're on the right track.
Both of you are sharing such good ideas. I didn't go that far. All I did was think about ordering the groceries and and getting everybody on Zoom. Now I got to go home. I got to go home and write down what are some creative ideas we can do. While y'all were talking, I was thinking, I wonder how I could figure out how to maybe have someone prepare something from their house and teach us, almost like a cooking demonstration or something.
Yes.
Since they are, in different cities, like maybe ask my son in LA, listen, why don't you make a sweet potato pie from your house and we can watch you make it? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Look, my collard greens.
Yes. Come up with some new recipes.
Yeah, and we played this fun game called One's Gotta Go or something that for my best friend's birthday, she did a Zoom birthday party last weekend, and the guys, we had to drag them on the Zoom. We couldn't get them off the call. We were by the end tired and wanting to go to sleep, but the guys had so much fun. But it was just a simple game where you name 4 things like sweet potato pie, apple pie,
Absolutely.
red velvet cake, and something else, and you have to choose one that has to go, and everyone's arguing about, no, we have to keep red velvet cake. Apple pie can go, and it was just
Right.
fun getting to know people, laughing. So just doing the things we used to do, like having fun, laughing with your family and friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that. I like that a lot. And Dina, you were just showing your book. You were talking about your collard greens recipe. You don't have to give the whole detail of it, but I want to see that again. Let me get this picture up. Dina gave us a picture of her book. If you don't have it, I think you need to go and get it. Why? Because I said so. This girl makes an amazing, very healthy greens. Look, this is not your grandmother's greens. No offense to grandmothers. I love my grandmothers. I have 2 Southern grandmothers, and they were good about putting that salt pork in there.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
as time grew on, we kind of got away from, you put the smoked turkey necks and turkey wings and all that stuff in there, trying to get a little healthier. So I love me some greens.
Yeah, so
I have a picture of your book. I'm gonna get a good
yeah,
picture of
thank
it while you
you.
tell us a little bit about your greens.
Yeah, so my grandmothers are from Selma, Alabama, and Jackson, Mississippi. Father's side, Mississippi, mother's side, Alabama. So the way we go about our greens is keep it traditional, soul food style, vegan soul food. So rinse your greens, very heavily, cut out the middle stem. And then what you want to do is stack them maybe in 5s and then roll them and then cut them julienne style in very thin strips. I like it thinner. You can taste the flavor. It's easier to chew. And what I do is I use a vegetable broth as the base. I add garlic, salt, lemon pepper, and then I will add coconut liquid amino. And y'all may be wondering, what's that? So in the vegan world, and I must say, I was not exposed to this crowd, because again, my family's from the South. So we cook with salt pork, smoked turkey, stuff like that. That's what I grew up on. However, if you are serious about lowering your blood pressure, but you want the flavor, you want that soul food flavor, go for the local coconut liquid amino. It's sold at most Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's version is only $3. It's not expensive, but you use it as a salt substitute. It will change your life. You will notice that you will have blood pressure that is just so normal, so wonderful. And if you couple that with a nice fitness routine, the walking, the yoga, Pilates, whatever floats your boat, running, cycling, a lot of people are into Peloton right now, whatever works for you, just commit to that and change your salt intake. And that's the way you do it. I swear by this. You guys, I go to the doctor regularly. Guess what my blood pressure is? Regularly. Just take a guess. And mind you, I had preeclampsia, which is high blood pressure when I had Jonathan.
Me too. That is horrible. I'm looking
Yeah,
at mine.
it's really
This
scary.
morning, it was 121/84 this morning. So
That-
it's okay. It's not great. It's okay.
Yeah, that's so much better, right, than what it was. So mine right now, because of this transition of the last 5 years, teaching yoga, changing my lifestyle, has been 110/70, like all the time. So I'm just really at a great place. It's something to celebrate, as a Black woman, and given the way my mom passed away. So again, if I'm helping myself, I'm just sharing with you guys, get the book, make the little changes. Even if you could go plant-based, organic, 3 or 4 days a week, try to do it. And you can do it with black-eyed peas. You can do it with the collard greens. You can do it with sweet potatoes. You can do it with a lot of different things, and just make it good and flavorful without the meat or without the dairy. Okay.
I think I'm going to try one of your recipes. I don't know if I can do all that in one Thanksgiving, but I think I'm going to try the greens and see if I can do. Listen, don't get my mother upset. I'm going to make some just like she makes it first.
Yes. And then
And
you
then I'm
can
gonna
make
make
it
a
with the
side
coconut
portion.
liquid amino, all these
Yes.
things. I'm telling you, and add more of the coconut liquid amino. Do what you need to do. but the glycemic index and the salt intake is just a little different because it is derived differently from the coconut. Okay, that's all it is. Scientifically, it's a little different. So go for it and have fun. And can you text me after you eat it? Or
I will. I'll
pictures?
take some pictures. I'll take some
Yes,
pictures of
love it. But
how
yeah,
it turned out.
it's a way to do it. The mindfulness, food, fitness combination is life-changing.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I can't pretend that I'm going to cook, but I will have my mother-in-law try your recipe with the liquid aminos. And I will say, my meal prep, I order my meal prep from a chef, but she uses the liquid aminos, and that food is so good.
Isn't
But I
it
do
good?
want to
It's so
incorporate it
delicious.
at home, so I'm gonna have my mother-in-law follow your recipes, and
Thank
that'll be
you.
great.
Thank you. And again, this is all for us to take it with it until our end of days. So, I mean, it really is life changing. We want you to live a high quality, wonderful life, right? That's what this is all about. We're in this transition, but God willing, this pandemic, we got new vaccines on the horizon from Pfizer and Moderna. And there's a lot of good things. We just got to do the work right now. Wear our masks, wear our glasses when we're out in public, take our showers, wash our hands. We can do this. We got this, ladies. We got it.
We
And so
definitely got
again,
it.
I want to echo what Dina is saying when she keeps saying, say glasses. I mean, everyone knows you get it through the mouth and nose, but you do also get the droplets into your eyes. So when you go into public, if possible, we should cover our eyes as well. We
Yeah,
want to wash our hands and not touch our face, but if possible, cover your eyes, and that will help.
exactly.
I love that. I will take all that advice in. I wear contacts. I'm just going to put it out there. I wear bifocal contacts. If I take these things out, I can't see none of y'all.
Yeah.
But what I try to do when I go out is wear a pair of sunglasses on top so that, or my blue light glasses. I know I'm probably not supposed to be wearing those to walk around the store, but something is better than nothing to try to cover those eyes up. So, but thank y'all for sharing those holiday recipes and holiday good tips of what we can do over Thanksgiving. And then as we roll from Thanksgiving, we have Christmas coming up. Dr. Angela, is there anything in particular you would say for people to watch out for as we approach Christmas, as far as, our mental wellness? Again, I do know that some people, the holidays, including Christmas, are not happy. They may be suffering from unemployment. They may have, they expected to buy certain things for their family and they're not able to do that. So they may have, some tendencies right now. People may be thinking, I can't go to Jamaica. I'm thinking about that right now. I take my children on a Christmas. I no longer buy Christmas gifts like most people, I think, because my kids they're college and young adults. And so I give them experiences for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so this year we're supposed to go to Jamaica for Christmas. I still have the tickets, Dr. Angela, but I'm like, I'm not going to be able to go. What am I going to do? What am I going to give them for Christmas? I give them experiences. So you may have some people out there, friends or people listening, who are starting to have a little bit of panic around Christmas coming and not being able to either afford the gifts or do the trips or whatever that they normally do. What advice do you tell them as they're approaching Christmas? Is it different from Thanksgiving, or what would you say?
I mean, it's different, but I just tell people in general, manage expectations. So you have to manage your own expectations and sometimes the expectations of others. So instead of being anxious about not being able to provide a gift or to go on trips, you have those discussions. Say, hey, I know we usually go out of town, but this year we aren't able to go, but we perhaps will go in the future. Or just managing our own expectations, do things differently. So we used to be big into giving gifts, and I think it was last year, I was joking, but I said, we're not having Christmas this year, too much is going on and this, that, the other. And so I was really joking, but my daughter, in order to save Christmas, said, well, can we do a secret Santa and we each pull one name and do a gift? And I was like, oh, so we can not have Christmas or not buy all these gifts and things. And that was just so special and so amazing because we had never done that. And it was, everyone enjoyed pulling the name and getting it. So just doing things differently, but then also knowing that things are different now, but that doesn't mean that we're never going to travel again or that, so just trying to find a way to get through until things get back to the way that we want them to be.
That's good advice. The good advice with managing the expectations on both sides, right? So I have to manage mine too. And we do that. We do that gift exchange. That's kind of our gifts to each other. The trip is kind of like my gift to them, right? But we do the Secret Santa. We started that maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and we've expanded it from just, my little tribe seems like a lot of people to most people, but it's nobody. It's just, me and my kids. That's 6 people plus Greg now. That makes 7. So that's a small family, but it might be big to most people. But we've extended it. So my parents are now in the Secret Santa gift exchange, and my brother and his daughters are in the gift exchange. So now we got like 13, 14 people in it. And the only person who knows who's getting what is me, right? So I don't get as much fun as everybody else, but it does. It makes it fun. I give people a limit. I'll say $25 is all you can spend. Right. And they're like, what? And then I give them a theme. Like we had crazy socks theme last year. So you have to pick up the craziest socks. And I give a grand prize for the gift that you spent, under $25 for that people like the best. So maybe we'll spice it up a little bit more this year and add it to what's that platform, House Party or Party in the House or whatever it's called, that Zoom-ish, StreamYard-ish game that people can play online together. Maybe we'll add some of that. So that's real creative. I like that. People can do that when they live far apart, make it fun so people don't feel alone. I like that a lot. I like it. Yes. I do want to just ask both of you, we have some things we want to share in just a few minutes, some different yoga poses that can kind of get us all going. I know, Dr. Angela, you work out a lot. I saw a recent video of yours and I almost brought it on the show. I had figured out how to stream it. It was so fabulous. Dr. Angela was getting her exercise in, dancing on a stage. And Dr. Angela is an excellent dancer. So don't let her fool you with all this doctor stuff. And we all into mindfulness today and our mental wellness. She gets her physical wellness in a whole different way. But anyhow, I didn't get that video, but I do have great pictures for Dina to talk with us through some amazing yoga moves that can actually release some energies, release some pressures that you may have in your body. But before I show those, I did want to ask you to, because the photos will surely take some time and I want people to really pay attention to that. Is there one thing that you would have everybody to take away from this show? Is there something you would say that is like, you definitely want to make sure people know about their mental wellness and coping during the holidays before we switch over to some yoga poses?
For me, it would be to let go of shame and to just seek the help that you need. And that doesn't necessarily mean like going to a doctor or a therapist, but whatever it is, whether you need someone to call and check on you once a week or just whatever, don't be afraid to ask for the help that you need, whatever that is.
Okay. All right. Dana, anything you want to share? Is like a word you want to leave with the audience?
Breathe.
Okay. That's perfect. That's perfect.
It's one word. We can breathe, commit to breathing differently. I can breathe, like right now, I can breathe this sort of abdominal breathing where it's really good for allergies, where I'm literally puffing my stomach out. It's the lung work. And I'm going to just show you real quick. I didn't plan to do this, but it's and do that 20 times, maybe before getting into the shower, just kind of play with it. Obviously, I'm not physically there to show you how to do it properly. You can join my classes. Obviously, it's something we could work on, or I can do it private with whoever needs it. And also the slow Ujjayi breath breathing, which is inhale through the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale through the mouth, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What we're doing is slowing the cadence of the breath, and you're in control. That is something you can control, not anyone else, but you can control that. And there's power for your body in that. And when we provide more oxygen for our body, it tends to want to heal better. It wants to make you happier. You feel more in control. You kind of calm the senses, sensations of the mind is what we call it in yoga, but it can make a profound difference in your life. Just breathe. Continue to
I
breathe.
love that.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to all keep breathing, that's for sure, but taking conscious effort to breathe slower, to slow it down is the
Mhm.
ticket. So I want to share with y'all, and Dina's going to talk to us a little bit about some of these yoga moves we can incorporate. And I know that I do yoga. I know Dr. Angela does yoga. So we're all on the same page. But Dina's the expert, so we're going to let her talk about this. I'll start quickly. Let's see here. Let's start with this one. What we got going on here?
Okay, so this is Ardha Matsyendrasana, or seated twist is what it's called in English. And essentially what you want to do is find a comfortable space, begin with your breathing, slow your cadence, root down on your sit bones. And what you want to do is bend both knees. You want to start there. And in this particular picture, what I have is the left knee is bent, and I bring the left heel back towards the right hip bone. And I bend the right knee and place the right knee upward towards the sky. And I take a big inhale and pull the crown of the head towards the ceiling, and exhale, twist towards, in this case, my right side. If you can, if you're flexible enough, what you want to do is bring that left elbow beyond the right thigh. Take a big inhale, pull the crown of the head towards the ceiling, and exhale, twist towards the back wall. I'm not doing this in this picture, but that will allow for you to stretch from the bottom, the top portion of your glutes, your QL, and then there's a long serratus muscle that stretches all the way from the back base of your back all the way to the neck. And it allows you to sort of release the middle back muscles and the upper back muscles. So it's extremely helpful for those who are trying to stretch their lower lumbar. The next picture that you have requires you to take a moment, if you're in seated position, to lie on your belly. In this picture, I take my left hand and grab my left foot and pull my left heel towards the left sit bone, and I hold. Ideally, what you want to do is place your head down, and you will get a very nice quad stretch. So this is for quad stretching. It's very therapeutic and healing after a nice Peloton or cycling ride. So highly recommend that for that. The next pose is bridge pose. So you want to start on your back and place the feet parallel. Take a big inhale, lift the hips up towards the sky. Allow the arms to be placed parallel, and you slowly lift the hips up towards the sky. You can even pulse with that. It's a very active pulsing routine. It stretches the quads, the lower abs, and really allows you to get more active power in your glutes, and just very, very helpful. And what you want to do when you release out of this position is start at the shoulder blades and slowly release one vertebrae at a time, starting at the shoulder blades, down towards the middle back, and then the lower lumbar, and then slowly release down. This particular pose is shoulder stand. Many people love it. Some people don't. It's something I look back, my mother used to love doing this. This yoga cycles is what we call it in yoga. You can actually bend your knees and begin to cycle if you want to get more active and a more pulsating format here. But you want to bring your arms parallel, place the arms right and hands below the hip bone on the back side, and slowly lift the legs up towards the sky. The goal here is to try to make the body like an X. To make the body like an exclamation point if you can, but you're resting on your shoulder blades, and it's very, very helpful for the upper scapulae, the upper shoulder blades, the middle back, and the lower back. So super wonderful. The last one, I think this is the last one, is child's pose. This is a very restorative pose. I would encourage people, if you're not used to this, especially men, is place a pillow underneath your belly, your face downward, point the toes together, widen the knees outside the body, allow the belly to relax, relax, relax. Place the forehead down and stretch the fingers nice and wide in front of you. But this will allow for you to stretch the glutes, the upper glutes, the lower back, the middle back, as well as the upper back. But this is super restorative. Highly recommend that particular pose if you're just feeling like you need comfort, especially if you're alone. That's a really, really great pose to do at home right before going to bed or right when you wake up.
I love it. I love how the mindfulness and the yoga ties so much into what Dr. Angela sees in her practice. You know, it's the fusion in my, you know, in my opinion, the fusion of medical and mindfulness is kind of the way to go for total mental wellness. I don't see how you could do one without the other. I don't see how I could have made it on my own journey without seeing Dr. Angela to help me process how my mind works, you know, and you know, at one point, even how that medication helped to calm that mind down so that I could make focus and make a plan for my life. And then how that could be any separate from what I learned from Dina and other yoga instructors of quieting my mind and, you know, getting my body in alignment and just breathing. And so I think those two fused together is the best way that you can move forward with mental wellness. I see people trying to do one without the other, and I'm like, you kind of working on a half a tank of gas. You can't just go to, you know, see Dina or other yoga instructors. Yeah, they're gonna get that together, but you might really have anxiety. You might really have depression. So you might really need to go see yourself a medical doctor. And then I know people who just go to the medical doctor, and I'm like, you know, half a tank too. You better get your spiritual, emotional, and physical wellness together. You better put some yoga in your life. So I just think both of those go together so well. And I just appreciate you both being here on this show. And I hate that it comes to this time of day, because that means that our show is ending. And for me, this is, you know, such a bittersweet show. It's so needed, as I said in the beginning, because the holidays are coming. I'm looking forward to wonderful holidays with my family, however it looks, right? Whether it's on Zoom or in person, I'm looking forward to spending time with them. I'm looking forward to giving back. My ministry, Faith Forward Ministries, does give back during Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so we're working on some ways to allow people to participate with us. Still going to deliver blankets to the homeless under Wacker Drive, but we got to figure out a way that we can do that safely and maybe incorporate, you know, masks and gloves and sanitation supplies for them this year, in addition to the blankets. And so we may not have as many volunteers with the ministry doing it. Some people may have to participate with us different ways. So we're still working on that, but I'm still looking forward to the holidays. And I'm looking forward to these 5 weeks. Again, this is the 13th episode and the final episode of our fall series, but we come back in January, on January 4th, with our winter series, 10 more episodes. And so if you missed any of the 13 episodes, you can play them all back on the website. The website for the show is www.themorningliftshow.com. themorningliftshow.com. You can click on all of them and play them back and catch up, almost like you do. You can do a binge, the Morning Lift Show, and get all caught up and see where we are. And then in a couple of weeks, I'm going to post all 10 episode topics and guests on the website so that you can see what's upcoming, the dates, the time. It's always going to be 8 a.m. on Monday morning here on Intellectual Radio and iHeart Station. We're always going to go live on Dr. Sean Kyle. But on the website, you can see what the topics will be, who's coming, and what they're going to share with us. I love all of my guests. All of my guests have been fabulous, and you two ladies are on top of, I shouldn't say on top of all of them, but you two are definitely a tops. Because I've had great guests. I can't complain. God has been good to me, good to this ministry, good to this show. And I thank y'all for being here to help people be on their way this week for great spiritual, physical, emotional, and of course, mental wellness. I pray that you all have a great time with your family. I pray you will stay tuned on the show and check us out and watch us in January and come back and be guests again and talk to us more about mental wellness. Thank you again. Stay lifted. Enjoy your holidays. And I'll see you when we come back. Bye now.
Please visit our website at themorningwellshow.com. You will find upcoming events as well as options for donating to our 501c3 organization. Be inspired, be uplifted, and be blessed. It's the morning lift.